Unleash your inner strength with Stoic secrets to stop forcing life. Hey there, have you ever felt like life's playing a cruel game with you? You plan every single detail, your career moves, your relationships, even the exact moment you think things should fall into place, only to watch it all slip through your fingers like sand in an hourglass? It's exhausting, isn't it? You push harder, grip tighter, trying to hold on to every grain, and yet the harder you try, the more frustrated you become. It's like running on a treadmill that's speeding up faster than you can keep up. Your legs are burning, your breath is ragged, and you're still not getting anywhere. Maybe you've been there. You've got a vision board plastered with your dreams, a 5-year plan written in bold marker, and a to-do list that stretches a mile long. You're doing everything right, hustling late into the night, saying yes to every opportunity, even trying to predict how others will react to your every move. But then life throws a curveball. That promotion you were banking on? It goes to someone else. The relationship you poured your heart into? It fizzles out unexpectedly. That perfect timeline you had in your head? It's now a mess of missed deadlines and detours. You're left standing there, hands empty, wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why does it feel like the universe is conspiring against me? I get it, I've been there too. A few years back, I had my whole life mapped out like a treasure hunt, each step a carefully placed X on the map. I was going to launch my dream project by 30, find a partner who checked all my boxes, and be financially set by 32. I worked myself to the bone, micromanaging every detail, every email, every meeting, every date night. I thought if I just controlled it all, I could make it happen. But life had other plans. The project stalled, the relationship I thought was the one fell apart, and my savings took a hit from an unexpected car repair. I felt like I was failing at everything, like I was stuck in quicksand. The more I struggled, the deeper I sank. I'd lie awake at night, replaying every moment, thinking, if I'd just done this differently, maybe things would have worked out. It was a vicious cycle of stress, self-doubt, and exhaustion, and I know I'm not the only one who's felt this way. Maybe you're feeling it right now, stressed out, stretched thin, like no matter how hard you try, things just aren't going your way. But here's the question that changed everything for me, and it might just change everything for you too. What if all that struggling, all that gripping, is actually what's holding you back? What if I told you there's a way to turn that struggle upside down, to break free from that endless cycle of stress and step into a life that flows with confidence, calm, and clarity? What if the secret to getting what you want isn't about trying harder, but about letting go? It sounds counterintuitive, I know, like something out of a riddle. But stick with me, because this isn't just some feel-good advice. It's a mindset shift so powerful it can transform how you chase success, how you build relationships, and how you find your own peace of mind, even when the world feels like it's spinning out of control. This secret isn't new. It's been around for centuries, passed down by the ancient Stoics, those brilliant philosophers who lived through some of the toughest times in history. We're talking about people like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who led armies through war while wrestling with his own inner battles, and Epictetus, a former slave who turned his hardships into wisdom that still echoes today. These weren't people living easy, cushy lives. They faced exile, loss, and chaos, yet they found a way to stay grounded, to thrive even in the storm. Their secret? They stopped fighting against life's unpredictable currents and learned to swim with them instead. They figured out that the more you try to control what you can't, the more miserable you become. But the moment you focus on what you can control, like your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions, everything changes. That's what we're diving into today, a way of thinking that could shift your entire perspective on life, helping you move through challenges with a quiet strength you didn't even know you had. By the time we're done, you'll see life in a whole new light. You might just walk away with the key to getting what you want, whether that's a thriving career, meaningful relationships, or simply a sense of peace, without losing your mind trying to force it all into place. We'll explore how to let go without giving up, how to act with purpose instead of panic, and how to find a flow that makes life feel less like a battle and more like a journey worth taking. Oh, and before we jump in, I've got a quick ask. If you're vibing with this journey so far, hit that subscribe button. It's a small tap that takes less than a second, but it helps bring this kind of wisdom to more people who need it, building a community where we can grow together. Alright, let's get started. Your Stoic journey to a calmer, more confident life begins right now. Picture this. You've got your life mapped out like a perfect blueprint, every detail sketched with precision as if you're an architect of your own destiny. You've set ambitious goals: land that dream job by 30, find your soulmate by 35, Save a certain amount by next year to finally take that dream trip or buy that house. You're working late nights, your desk littered with coffee cups and sticky notes, stressing over every email you send, hoping it's worded just right to impress your boss. You're even trying to bend every situation to fit your plan, like a puzzle piece you're forcing into the wrong spot. Constantly checking your phone for updates, overanalyzing every conversation, and second-guessing your every move. You're telling yourself, if I can just get this one thing right, everything will fall into place. But then, bam! Life throws a curveball that shatters your carefully drawn blueprint. The job you were so sure about goes to someone else, leaving you with a rejection email that stings like a paper cut. That relationship you thought was heading toward forever fizzles out with a single text, leaving you staring at your phone in disbelief. Or maybe your savings take a hit, an unexpected medical bill, a car breakdown, or a rent hike, and suddenly, your financial goals feel like a distant mirage. You're left standing there, heart racing, palms sweaty, wondering, why is this happening to me? I did everything I was supposed to do. Sound familiar? I've been there too, and I know I'm not alone. It's a trap so many of us fall into, like a hamster on a wheel, running faster and faster but never getting anywhere. We convince ourselves that if we just push a little harder, control every little detail, down to the exact words we say or the exact timing of our plans, we can force the world to bend to our will. But here's the kicker. The more we cling to that illusion of control, the more exhausted we get, and the further happiness seems to slip away, like a balloon floating higher out of reach with every desperate jump we make. I remember feeling like I was drowning in my own expectations, my energy drained from trying to micromanage every part of my life, only to watch my plans unravel anyway. That's where the Stoics come in, those brilliant minds from centuries ago who figured out a better way to navigate life's chaos. Names like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't just philosophize in quiet rooms with quills and scrolls. They lived through real, raw struggles, wars that tore empires apart, exile that stripped them of their homes, and even slavery that tested their very humanity. Yet, somehow, they found a way to stay grounded, to hold on to peace when the world around them was anything but peaceful. Their secret? Letting go of the need to control everything and focusing instead on what truly matters, their own thoughts, actions, and reactions. Today, we're unpacking that ancient wisdom and bringing it into our modern lives. We'll explore why detachment isn't the same as giving up, but rather a powerful way to reclaim your energy. How patience can unlock doors to opportunities you didn't even know existed, and how a simple shift in your thinking can turn struggles into stepping stones that lead you to a stronger, more fulfilling life. So, grab a comfy spot, maybe a cozy chair with a warm drink in hand. Let's dive into this together and discover how to live with a calm strength that changes everything you thought you knew about facing life's challenges. The trap of control. Let's talk about that trap I mentioned earlier, the one where we try to control everything like we're the puppet masters of our own lives. Picture this. Think about the last time you were waiting on big news, maybe a job offer you've been dreaming about, or a response from someone you care about, like a text from a friend or a loved one that feels like it's taking forever. Your mind's racing, isn't it? You're checking your phone every 5 minutes, the screen lighting up your face in the dark as you refresh your inbox or stare at that unanswered message. You're replaying every conversation in your head, dissecting every word, wondering what you could have said differently or done better to sway the outcome. We tell ourselves, if I just work harder, push more, stay up another hour tweaking that proposal, I can make this happen. It's like we're convinced that sheer willpower can bend the universe to our will. But does it ever really work that way? More often than not, the tighter we hold on, clutching our plans like a lifeline, the more anxious we become, our hearts pounding with every passing minute. The joy of the process, whether it's building a career step by step or nurturing a friendship with patience, gets sucked dry because all we care about is nailing that end result, that one moment when we can finally say, I did it. I remember a time when I was obsessed with getting a promotion. It was like a personal crusade. I stayed late every night, my office desk a battlefield of coffee stains and crumpled papers, double-checking every report until my eyes blurred, and even going out of my way to impress my boss with extra tasks, like volunteering for projects I barely had time for. I thought if I could just prove my worth, if I could control every variable, the decision would swing my way. But when the announcement came, someone else got the nod. I was crushed, sitting there in stunned silence, my mind spinning with questions. I did everything right. Why wasn't it enough? Where did I go wrong? That's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd tied my happiness, my entire sense of self-worth, to an outcome I couldn't control. It was a wake-up call, and I bet some of you have felt that same sting, that moment when all your hard work feels like it's been for nothing. The Stoics saw this pattern clearly, and they had a name for it, a trap we all stumble into. Take Marcus Aurelius, that Roman emperor who led through chaos, scribbling his thoughts by candlelight amid the clatter of war. He wrote about accepting what life throws at you instead of battling it like a warrior against an unbeatable foe. He knew that fighting against things beyond our reach, like other people's decisions, unpredictable events, or the whims of fate, only leads to suffering, a mental exhaustion that weighs us down more than any physical burden. The real fight, he said, isn't out there in the world, it's inside us, training our minds to focus on what we can shape, our actions, our attitudes, our responses to whatever comes our way. It's about shifting our energy from wrestling with the uncontrollable to mastering what's within our power. So, why do we fall into this trap? Because we've been conditioned to think life's a checklist, a rigid to-do list where we tick off boxes. Get the degree, land the job, find the partner, buy the house. But life isn't a straight line drawn with a ruler. It's messy, full of twists and turns, like a river carving its own path through the mountains. The more we cling to one specific route, the more we miss out on the bigger picture, the unexpected opportunities, the hidden lessons, the beauty in the detours. That's the first lesson from the Stoics. Let go of the illusion of control. It's not about throwing in the towel or giving up on your dreams. It's about freeing yourself from the stress of forcing something that might not be meant for you, opening your hands to receive what life has in store instead. Stick around, because we're about to see how this shift can change your whole approach to life, turning that trap into a launch pad for something greater. The power of detachment. Now, let's flip the script and turn things upside down for a moment. What if letting go, releasing that iron grip you've got on life, could actually bring you closer to what you want? It sounds crazy, I know, like telling a fisherman to drop his net when the catch is near. But that's the incredible power of detachment, and it's a game changer the Stoics mastered centuries ago. Take Epictetus, a former slave who turned his hardships into a goldmine of wisdom. This guy didn't have an easy life. Chained and beaten, he could have let bitterness define him. Instead, he saw a deeper truth. We don't suffer because of what happens to us, like losing a job or a breakup, but because we're attached to how we want it to go. He said something like, "Don't wish for things to happen your way, wish for them to happen as they should, and you'll find happiness." Mind-blowing, right? It's a shift that turns despair into possibility. This isn't about giving up on your dreams or throwing your hands up in defeat. It's about loosening your grip so you can enjoy the ride, letting life unfold with a rhythm you can trust instead of fighting it every step of the way. Think about an artist painting a masterpiece. Imagine them standing at the canvas, brush trembling, freaking out about every stroke being perfect, obsessing over whether the colors match or if the critics will tear it apart. They're so caught up in the pressure that they'll never get into that creative zone where magic happens. But when they let go of the outcome, when they stop worrying about the gallery opening and just lose themselves in the act of painting, feeling the brush glide across the canvas, something incredible flows out of them. Their best work emerges, almost effortlessly, because they're not choking the process with fear. The same goes for us, whether it's work, relationships, or personal growth. When you stop fixating on how things must turn out, whether it's landing that perfect job or hitting every milestone on your timeline, you give yourself space to breathe, to savor the moment, to find joy in the journey itself. I tried this once when I was nervous about a presentation. My heart was pounding, and I kept rewriting my notes, obsessing over every word, terrified of stumbling. But then I decided to focus on delivering my best and let the rest unfold naturally. Guess what? It went smoother than I expected. I even had fun up there, and the audience connected with me in a way I hadn't planned. It was a revelation. Take relationships, for example. Have you ever seen someone try way too hard to win someone over? They're texting non-stop, their phone buzzing like a beehive, overanalyzing every reply. Did that haha mean they liked it, or was it just polite? They're desperate for approval, their energy heavy with neediness. Doesn't it feel off, like they're carrying a weight you can sense from across the room? And often, it pushes people away, because that intensity can be overwhelming. But then there's the person who's confident, who's at ease with themselves, not clinging to a specific result, like whether that date leads to a second one. They naturally draw others in, like a magnet pulling iron filings. Why? Because they're not ruled by fear, they trust that what's meant to be will find its way, like a river carving its own path. That's detachment in action. It's about acting with purpose, not panic, stepping forward with intention instead of desperation, and watching how life starts aligning when you do. So, take a moment and ask yourself, what are you holding on to too tightly right now? Is it a job you're stressing over, a relationship you're trying to force, a goal that's keeping you up at night? Imagine letting go, not quitting, but trusting that you'll be okay, that the path will reveal itself. That's where the magic begins, and we're just getting started. Stick with me to see how this transforms everything. Success without the struggle. Let's talk about success for a minute, because who doesn't want it, right? We've all bought into this idea that success is a straight shot, like an arrow flying directly to the bullseye. Graduate by this age, earn this much by that age, hit every milestone right on time like clockwork. It's a shiny picture society paints. Get your degree at 22, land a high-flying job by 27, buy a house by 30, and be sipping cocktails on a yacht by 40. But what happens when life doesn't follow your script? Maybe you miss a deadline you'd circled in red on your calendar, or that big break, the one you've been daydreaming about, doesn't come when you planned. Suddenly, you're spiraling, your mind racing with self-doubt, thinking, I've failed. I'm behind. I'll never catch up. It's a heavy weight to carry, like a backpack full of rocks, dragging you down with every step. But the Stoics, those ancient sages who faced their own storms, would tell you that's the wrong way to look at it. Success isn't a rigid checklist you tick off, it's a winding road, full of detours, setbacks, and surprise opportunities that can lead to places you never imagined. If you're too locked into one specific outcome, like a train stuck on a single track, you might miss the better path life's trying to show you, the one with a view you never knew you needed. I once knew someone who was dead set on becoming a lawyer by 25. They pushed through law school with grit, burning the midnight oil over case studies, their desk a mess of highlighters and empty energy drink cans. But when a job didn't materialize right away, no callbacks, just polite rejection emails, they panicked, applying to anything and everything, even roles they didn't care about, just to feel like they were moving forward. Meanwhile, a friend took a different approach. They focused on honing their skills, writing, researching, networking, while staying open to new possibilities, like a sailor adjusting their sails to the wind. They ended up in a role they loved more than law ever could, working in legal tech, a field they hadn't even considered before. The difference? One was desperate, clutching at any straw, while the other was detached, trusting the journey. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals. It means you stop needing things to happen on your timeline to feel okay, to feel whole. Imagine you're prepping for a big interview. You've done the work, practiced your answers in front of the mirror, but instead of overthinking every what if they ask this? What if I freeze? You trust your preparation and let the chips fall where they may. You walk in calm, present, your shoulders relaxed, and you're more likely to shine because you're not suffocating under pressure. That's the Stoic way, effort paired with trust, not force. So, how do you practice this in your own life? Start by reminding yourself daily, you can't control outcomes, only your effort and mindset. Then, reframe your thinking, swap, I need this job to feel successful, for, I trust this experience will lead me to growth, whatever happens. Finally, live in the now, focusing on the moment you're in, like preparing for that interview, rather than stressing about what might come next. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the less power the future has to stress you out, turning pressure into possibility. We're just getting started, there's so much more to explore, so stick around for what's next. Mastering your mindset. Here's where it gets really exciting. Mastering your mindset, the secret weapon that can change how you face every day. Life's going to throw challenges your way, no doubt about it. There's no escaping that truth, especially when you're winding down after a day that might have tested your patience with a packed schedule or unexpected delays. Some days, everything clicks, your work flows like a well-oiled machine, your relationships feel solid and warm, and you're riding a wave of good vibes. But other days, it's like the universe is testing you with traffic jams that make you late for an important meeting, missed deadlines that leave you scrambling, or tough feedback that stings like a sharp jab to the ego. The difference between those who crumble under that pressure and those who thrive, standing tall through the storm? It's all in how they think. If you don't take charge of your mind, it'll take charge of you, pulling you into a spiral of stress and self-doubt. And that's a lesson the Stoics lived every day, turning their toughest moments into opportunities for growth. Take William James, often called the father of modern psychology. He said the best weapon against stress is choosing one thought over another. That's pure Stoic gold, a timeless truth wrapped in simple words. You don't have to believe every negative thought that pops into your head, like a pesky weed sprouting in your mental garden. Imagine you're at work right now, or maybe you just left the office, making mistakes on a project, and your boss is on your case, their voice echoing with criticism. Your first thought might be, "I'm awful at this, I'll never improve, I might as well give up." That's a dead-end mindset, a trap that locks you in place. But what if you flipped it? What if instead you told yourself, "Every mistake is teaching me something valuable, this pressure is making me better, stronger, more capable"? That's a growth mindset, and it turns struggles into opportunities, like turning a rough stone into a polished gem. Seneca put it beautifully, "Difficulties strengthen the mind like exercise builds the body." Every setback, every frustration, whether it's a late-night email gone wrong or a plan that falls apart, is like a workout for your soul, pushing you to grow stronger, more resilient, with every rep. I've seen this in action. A friend of mine was struggling with a project a while back, feeling like a failure with every error, their confidence crumbling like dry sand. But when they started seeing each mistake as a lesson, taking notes, adjusting their approach, they not only improved but landed a promotion because their boss noticed their growth. It's all about training your inner dialogue, that quiet voice inside you. Are you feeding yourself fear and doubt, letting those weeds choke your garden? Or are you planting seeds of strength, clarity, and hope, nurturing a mindset that lifts you up? Your mind's like a garden. What you nurture is what grows, blooming into a life of confidence. Start paying attention to those thoughts, especially as you unwind from your day. Catch the negative ones, reframe them with a positive spin, and watch how your days start feeling lighter, your shoulders less tense. We'll dive deeper into this next. Stay with me, because there's so much more to uncover. The art of patience. Now, let's tackle one of the toughest skills to master. Patience, something we all struggle with, especially when you're winding down after a day that might have left you feeling the weight of unmet goals. We live in a world that screams for instant results, fast food delivered in minutes, instant messages that ping back in seconds, and overnight success stories plastered across social media, showing influencers who seem to have it all figured out. We're conditioned to think if it's not happening now, something's wrong, like we've missed the boat or failed some unspoken test. But here's the truth, a quiet whisper amid all that noise. The best things in life take time, unfolding slowly like a flower blooming in its own season. The Stoics knew this deeply, their wisdom a lifeline in a hurried world. Epictetus, a man who endured slavery yet found freedom in his mind, said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Think about it, wisdom, strength, a thriving career, even deep relationships, they don't pop up overnight like a pop-up ad. It's like trying to rush a tree to grow by yanking its branches with all your might. You just snap the delicate limbs, breaking what could have been beautiful. Life has its own rhythm, a natural beat we can't force, and fighting against it only leads to disappointment, like trying to dance to a song that's playing at its own tempo. Imagine a young artist dreaming of fame, their studio a mess of paint tubes and half-finished canvases, lit by the glow of a single lamp. They pour their heart into their work, every brush stroke a piece of their soul, but the recognition they crave doesn't come. No gallery invites, no viral posts, just silence. They could give up, frustrated, tossing their brushes aside in a fit of anger, believing they'll never make it. Or they could trust that every stroke, every late night, is preparing them for something bigger, a masterpiece they can't yet see. Those who keep going, trusting the process, often find themselves exactly where they're meant to be, their art finally hanging in a gallery they never dared to dream of. I felt this myself, working on a side project for months, pouring my energy into it with no results, ready to quit as the weeks dragged on. But when I let go of the timeline, stopped checking the calendar every day, and focused on the craft itself, doors opened I never saw coming, like a surprise email from a collaborator that changed everything. Patience isn't passive, sitting idly by. It's active trust, a quiet confidence that keeps you moving forward. You keep showing up, doing your part, and believing the timing will work out, even if it's not on your schedule. So, how do you stay patient when it feels like nothing's happening, when the waiting feels endless? Focus on what you can control, your actions, your growth, the small steps you take each day, and let go of the part you can't dictate. Accept that detours might lead to better destinations, paths you'd never have found otherwise. Trust yourself to handle whatever comes, even if it's delayed, knowing you're stronger than you think. It's a shift that frees you from stress, like untying a knot in your chest, and opens you to life's natural flow, a current that carries you forward. We're getting to the heart of this. Keep listening, because the best is yet to come. Acceptance and alignment. Let's dig into one of the Stoics' greatest lessons. Acceptance, a concept that might feel like a quiet revolution as we reflect on a day that's likely thrown its own challenges your way. Marcus Aurelius, that wise Roman emperor who penned his thoughts amidst the chaos of war, wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together." That's powerful stuff, a line that hits like a gentle wake-up call. It's not about rolling over and giving up, surrendering your dreams like a white flag in defeat. It's about embracing life's timing instead of resisting it with every ounce of your strength. Ever notice how chasing something desperately makes it slip away, like trying to catch water in your hands? A job you're obsessing over, a relationship you're clinging to, a goal you're forcing. The harder you grip, the further it runs, slipping through your fingers like sand on a windy beach. But when you act with calm confidence, trusting the process, things start aligning naturally, like stars falling into place on a clear night. The Stoics called this the difference between chasing, panicked and frantic, and attracting, steady and intentional. Epictetus, that former slave turned philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." It's a roadmap to clarity and purpose, a way to anchor yourself before you act. Desperate action comes from fear, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear that time's slipping away too fast. But purposeful action flows from strength, a deep knowing of who you are and what you stand for, like a tree rooted firmly in the ground. Take two job hunters as an example. One's frantic, their inbox flooded with applications everywhere, panicking over every rejection email that lands, their hands shaking as they hit send again. The other's focused, tailoring each application with care, researching the company, trusting the process like a gardener tending their plants. Who's more likely to land something? The calm, strategic one, hands down. The same goes for relationships. Desperation pushes people away, with its heavy energy of neediness, while confidence draws them in, like a lighthouse guiding ships home. Aristotle talked about eudaimonia, that beautiful state of living with purpose and fulfillment, not chasing external winds like money or status, but aligning your actions with your values, your inner compass. I've seen this play out in real life. A friend was desperate for a partner, texting non-stop, their phone a constant hum, seeking validation with every reply. It fell apart, leaving them drained and disheartened. Later, when they focused on their own growth, picking up a hobby, building confidence, someone amazing came along naturally, drawn to their newfound peace. It's about acting with intention, not force, moving forward with purpose instead of panic. Seneca said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the reluctant." A reminder that trusting the flow, focusing on your part, and letting go of the struggle allows life to respond in ways you can't predict. We're wrapping up with how to make this yours. Don't miss it, because this is where it all comes together. Living with abundance. Here's a mind-blowing idea that might shift your perspective as you wind down after a day that's likely felt like a race against scarcity. True abundance isn't about having more, it's about wanting less. Epictetus, that Stoic philosopher who turned hardship into wisdom, said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Let that sink in for a moment. In a world obsessed with more money in your bank account, more likes on your latest post, more success to flash on your resume, we often feel like we're never enough, like we're always one step behind in some invisible competition. That scarcity mindset, that constant feeling of lack, repels opportunities, like a dark cloud pushing away the sun. But the Stoics, alongside modern psychology, offer a brighter path. William James, a pioneer of psychology, said that changing your attitude can change your entire life, a truth the Stoics lived by centuries ago. They showed that what you focus on grows, like a seed you water daily. If you see lack, always noticing what you don't have, you'll find proof of it everywhere, reinforcing your fears. But if you see abundance, choosing to focus on what's already there, you'll spot possibilities everywhere, like stars lighting up a night sky you thought was empty. Picture two people at a networking event, the room buzzing with chatter and clinking glasses. One's focused on what they don't have, comparing themselves to everyone else, doubting their worth, feeling behind as they glance at others' business cards. Their energy's heavy, their shoulders slumped, and they leave empty-handed, feeling even worse. The other believes they have enough skills, enough opportunities, enough to offer, and engages confidently, smiling warmly, asking questions, listening intently. They walk away with new connections, a spring in their step, not because of luck, but because of their mindset. It's not just about career wins. This applies to relationships, happiness, even time. If you think there's never enough love, never enough good people, or never enough hours in the day, you'll miss the kindness around you, the smile from a stranger, or the laughter shared with a friend. But shift to gratitude, taking a moment tonight to notice the warmth of your home or the support of a loved one, and you'll see blessings you overlooked, like hidden treasures waiting to be found. A musician I know lived this shift. He used to worry about competition, obsessing over every gig he didn't get. But when he quit that mindset and focused on improving his craft, pouring love into each note, doors opened. A record label noticed him because he embodied abundance, not fear. To live this way, start with gratitude. Pause right now and notice what's already here, the small joys of your day. Act as if you have enough, moving through life with confidence, your head held high. And release attachment, trusting that what's meant for you will come, not through force but through alignment. It's a perception shift that transforms your reality, turning scarcity into a wellspring of possibility. We're almost there. Let's tie it all together in the next section, so don't go anywhere. Practical steps to let go. So, how do you actually start letting go and living this stoic way, embracing a life of calm strength as you wind down from a day that might have tested your patience? It's not something that happens overnight, like flipping a switch, but with practice, it becomes second nature, a rhythm you move to without even thinking. Let's break it down into steps you can weave into your everyday life. First, get clear on what you can and can't control. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, a simple yet profound idea that acts like a filter for your energy. Focus on your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, the things you can shape with your own hands. Don't waste your energy on others' opinions, which can shift like the wind, or the future, which is a foggy horizon you can't predict. Wasting energy on the uncontrollable just drains you, leaving you exhausted like a runner on an endless track with no finish line. Second, practice acceptance. Life won't always follow your plan, with its neat little boxes and timelines, but that doesn't mean it's failing. Sometimes those detours can lead to amazing places, like stumbling onto a hidden path in a forest you never knew existed. Finally, build trust, in life's natural flow and in yourself. Know deep down that you can handle whatever comes your way, even if it's unexpected, like a sudden storm that catches you off guard. Take relationships as an example. Trying to change someone, whether it's a friend, partner, or family member, only frustrates you, like pushing a boulder uphill only to watch it roll back down. Instead, set boundaries to protect your peace, communicate your needs with clarity, but let them be themselves, their own unique selves with their own journeys. For success, work hard, put in the effort, refine your skills, but don't obsess over the timing, checking the clock every hour to see if your breakthrough has arrived. Trust that your effort will pay off, like planting a seed and believing it'll sprout when the season's right. I once over-prepared for an interview, my notes a chaotic scribble, panicking over every detail. What if they ask this? What if I forget that? And I flopped, my nerves tripping over my words. Next time, I trusted my preparation, took a deep breath, stayed calm with my shoulders relaxed, and nailed it, walking out with a smile and a job offer. It's about aligned action. Do your part with focus and care, then step back, letting the results unfold naturally. Seneca, that wise Stoic voice, said, "Effort and patience achieve more than force and anxiety," a truth that echoes through time. It's like a farmer planting seeds. They prepare the soil, nurture the plants with water and sunlight, and trust the growth, resisting the urge to dig up the earth every day to check. Act with purpose, not panic, moving forward with intention, and watch how life begins to flow, like a river finding its course through the landscape. We've journeyed together through a powerful shift that might have changed the way you see your day, a transformation from chasing and controlling every little detail to aligning with life's natural rhythm and flowing with its currents. As you sit here, winding down after a day that might have thrown its own challenges your way, take a moment to reflect on what the Stoics have taught us through their timeless wisdom. These ancient philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, showed us that real power doesn't come from forcing outcomes, bending the world to fit your plans like a puzzle piece that just won't fit. No, the real power lies within you. Mastering your mind to stay calm amidst the storms, embracing patience to trust life's timing, and living with abundance by appreciating what's already in your life. Life isn't about gripping so tightly that your hands ache. It's about mastering yourself, finding that inner strength to face whatever comes with a steady heart and a clear mind. Think back to the lessons we've explored. How letting go of control can free you from stress. how detachment can bring you closer to your dreams by allowing you to enjoy the journey, and how a mindset of gratitude can turn scarcity into possibility. These aren't just ideas, they're tools you can carry with you, like a compass guiding you through life's uncertainties. Maybe you've been feeling overwhelmed, trying to force a relationship to work, or pushing for a goal that feels just out of reach. The Stoics would tell you to take a deep breath, let that tension melt away, and trust the process, knowing that you're stronger than you think, capable of handling whatever twists life throws your way. You've got this, because the power to thrive isn't out there in the world. It's right here, inside you, waiting to be tapped into. If this journey clicked for you, if something in these Stoic lessons resonated deep in your bones, then I've got something special for you. Check out the next video on screen. It's packed with even more Stoic wisdom to keep you growing, to keep you moving forward on this path of inner strength. And if you're feeling inspired, hit that subscribe button to join the Stoic Journal crew, a community of people just like you who are committed to living with purpose and resilience. It's a quick tap that means you're part of something bigger, a group of seekers striving to live better, one day at a time. Thanks for being part of this journey. You're not just watching a video, you're growing, evolving, becoming a version of yourself that's more grounded, more at peace. Let's keep striving together, taking it one step at a time, building on each lesson as we go. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep embracing the flow, keep mastering yourself, and know that you're on a path worth walking. See you next time.